What do you know? What did you just walk into? That single line echoes like thunder in the halls of Cleveland football right now. Because whatever's been simmering behind those locker room doors, it's finally bubbling over. The whispers, the cryptic interviews, the looks on the sidelines, all of it points to one truth. Something's rotten inside the Browns organization, and Shadur Sanders has become the center of the storm. For weeks, the tension's been building. You could feel it in the air, like static before a lightning strike. Everyone knew something was off. The rotations didn't make sense. The injuries seemed too convenient. And the way the coaching staff dodged questions told you everything you needed to know. From the outside, it looked like normal football politics. A player waiting for his turn, coaches protecting the team's rhythm. But the deeper you look, the clearer it becomes that this wasn't about readiness or strategy. It was about control. It was about power. Kevin Stefanski, the man running the show, has been playing a dangerous game. Every decision he's made seems to orbit around one purpose: to make sure Shadur stays on the bench, no matter how much talent he shows, no matter how much energy he brings. And the way it's been done? Carefully, quietly, almost artistically. Just enough to look innocent on paper, but manipulative in practice. One day they tweak the play calls. The next they leak an injury report. Before long, the story writes itself. Shedeur isn't ready. Shadur needs time. Shedeur is not fitting into the system. But fans aren't fools anymore. They're seeing the pattern for what it is: a setup, a calculated effort to bury potential before it becomes a problem. The moment Jason dropped that vague comment, there's a lot going on behind the scenes. It was like lighting a match in a room full of gasoline. Everyone got it instantly. You don't have to be a reporter to know that where there's smoke, there's fire. And this smoke is thick. It's clear there are politics at play, decisions that have little to do with football and everything to do with egos. Stefanski's been walking a fine line between protecting his image and stifling a rising star. He's been crafting narratives to keep the spotlight off his mistakes and onto the players. And Shedeur, unfortunately, has become the perfect scapegoat. But here's the truth they're trying to hide. The kid has everything: poise, vision, and confidence that radiates through the field. He's the kind of quarterback who changes locker rooms, who makes teammates believe again. That's what scares them most. That his presence alone might expose how hollow their leadership really is. And then there's the community. While the organization tries to control the headlines, Shedeur has been out there doing something real, connecting with people who actually matter. He's been showing up in neighborhoods the rest of the team won't even drive through. He's been shaking hands with kids who see him as more than a player, but as hope. That's what makes this story deeper than football. Because Shedeur's not just throwing passes, he's building bridges. And that kind of influence terrifies the people in charge. You can see it in their reactions, how they try to downplay his outreach as noise. They call it a distraction. They frame it like he's chasing attention when all he's doing is giving it. They call it PR, but what's really happening is connection. He's out there in the heart of Cleveland, not the corporate side of it, but the real side, the side that bleeds, grinds, and dreams. And the more he connects, the more threatened the establishment becomes. Because that's real power. Not the kind that comes from titles or contracts, but from love and authenticity. Anthony's comments said it all without saying much. That fake concern, that smug grin, the subtle digs about Shedeur flying across the country while rehabbing. The jealousy was dripping from every word. It's not about football. It's about hierarchy. It's about someone who can't handle watching another man move differently, move freely. They don't like that Shedeur has options. They don't like that he can command respect without begging for it. The private jet wasn't the issue. It was the symbol. It represented everything they can't control: confidence, freedom, independence. That's what drives them crazy. And instead of celebrating that their young quarterback carries himself like a star, they twist it into arrogance. They label it ego. But deep down, it's admiration disguised as resentment. Then comes the talk of noise. Every time something swirls around Shadur, that's the word they use to dismiss it. But noise doesn't happen in silence. It comes from echoes, from movement, from energy. If there's noise, it's because something's happening. And what's happening is this: Shadur Sanders refuses to be boxed in. They can shuffle depth charts, leak injuries, play their media games, but talent has a way of breaking through. And the more they try to hide him, the more obvious it becomes what they're doing. It's like trying to cover the sun with your hand. You might block it for a second, but the light always finds a way around. The irony is that everything they're doing to hold him back is only making him stronger. Every slight, every headline, every delay is adding fuel to a fire that's already burning hot. Fans can feel it. They're watching a system unravel because of its own fear. Kevin Stefanski's carefully built image is starting to crack, and when it does, everyone will see what's been hidden in plain sight. A coach more worried about control than winning. Because no real leader benches a spark that can ignite the whole team. No real leader hides greatness behind excuses. What they're doing isn't coaching, it's self-preservation. And when the walls finally fall, they'll realize too late that the very player they tried to silence was the one who could have saved them. Right now, it's all lining up. The back injury rumors, the odd rotations, the empty explanations. Every piece fits into a bigger picture, one that shows how deep this goes. They've created an illusion of order while chaos brews underneath. But illusions fade. And when this one collapses, Cleveland will remember who was on the right side of history and who wasn't. Because when Shedeur finally gets his chance, and he will, no coach, no narrative, and no fake injury report will be able to stop what's coming. The truth always wins. And when it does, the city will finally